We just wait. I don't know what the question is.
I'm not sure either.
I'm Nikki, I'm 27. I had my daughter when I was 19 years old, and at the time I felt I made a huge mistake.
I'm Tasha, I'm 50, single, and thinking about doing a 4th round of IVF. Hi, how are you? What do you think of women in their 50s trying to have children?
A big mistake, because I feel like you need a lot of energy. You're just so emotionally drained at times, especially if you're a single parent. I personally wouldn't do it. I would want to have all my children by 35. Honestly,
Really?
I would. What do you think of teen moms?
I think that is a really bad idea. Women who are still in their teens, they don't know what they want out of life or what the trajectory is going to be. You know, you don't have the stability, the salary. You know, you need more experience to have kids. How old were you when you had your child, and how did you feel when you found out?
I was 19 when I found out. I was actually 20 when I had her. It was definitely something I felt like, what did I get myself into?
Was it, if I can ask, was it deliberate? I mean, were you trying to get
No,
pregnant?
I definitely wasn't. It was totally a mistake. It's
Okay.
not something I said I wanted to do, but it's just at that moment I just felt like I'm just going to have this baby and, you know, hope that everything works out.
Well, you know, I'm 50, and I didn't really know that having a kid would be such an issue.
Okay.
I want a child because, you know, I feel like I'd be a good mother. I think that I would do a good job with, you know, the little me that I could raise to be a good person out in the world.
What are the different options you've considered trying to get pregnant?
So I've kind of considered everything. I looked into egg freezing, and it's really expensive and not a guarantee. You start thinking of crazy possibilities. I'm like, well, maybe I can just get knocked up or something like that.
Right.
You know, I did IVF, and for no reason whatsoever, it didn't take. The one that really kills me is that when people say, well, you know, why are you spending money on IVF? Why don't you just go straight to adoption? Like somehow they think that people who don't have kids, we have this obligation to adopt the kids who are available. You know, like somehow that's our responsibility.
Right.
So I'm thinking about doing IVF again because, you know, you still want to make it happen.
You want to give up that hope.
Exactly. So at this point, I mean, I spent a lot of money on
But did you ever
IVF.
consider having the children before?
You know, I didn't. I mean, I was always just working, and then in my 30s, I always felt really young. I mean, I still kind of feel young, you know, whatever. And I wasted time in stupid relationships with stupid guys, you know, haven't we all? And so I do have a lot of regrets.
I've also made poor choices. I definitely have. I feel like I have been in very questionable relationships. I have made a lot of irresponsible choices as far as, you know, just wanting to go out and they can't get up the next morning and I can't take her to school because I am hungover. I just didn't want to do the mom thing. I was like, oh, I'll take her. She's crying. Her pamper needs to change. I don't have time for this. Like, ugh. I was totally a child when I had her. I definitely regret, like, just not setting a proper foundation for her and for myself. How much money have you invested so far in fertility treatments and what have you sacrificed?
So the IVF treatment, I mean, in general, it was $85,000.
$85,000.
Yeah. And, you know, and obviously I got nothing out of it. So my mom will ask me, well, are you sorry you did it? I'm like, well, it's kind of a hard question because you kind of have to do it to figure out if you're going to have any luck. But at the same time, that was like a lot of money. You know, I sold my house in Chicago and moved to Oregon so that I would actually have money for IVF. And I try not to dwell on that. You know, I've heard people say kind of behind their back, like, oh, well, you know, what is she thinking? She's really old and so on. So that's pretty hurtful. I mean, there's just a lot of different stuff going on. So you have to really, really, really want kids.
Wow. Well, first, let me say I do apologize, like just hearing that and, you know, having to go through that. And I really do hope that something does work for you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I do. I really do.
What did you learn from motherhood that you never thought you were capable of?
Well, it pushed me to go back to school, to get that degree because I didn't have it great at all. I barely had anything as a child, so that's why I just worked so hard and she's just that motivation for me. So yeah.
How old is she now?
She's 7.
Okay.
Yeah, she's 7, turning 18, but hey,
Yeah, right?
I love my little daughter. She's just so sweet. She's just like a little me.
Do you feel like you're kind of different from other women you know who had kids at your age? Because, I mean, you sound very, ambitious and motivated and so on.
Yeah, I definitely try to just show her, like, as a woman, you go to work, you go to school, you educate yourself, never stop learning. I want her to just know, like, yes, you're a beautiful girl, because she loves herself, oh God. And I'm just like, okay, you're beautiful, yes, but what's important is how smart you are, what's in your brain, what do you know? I'm definitely not here to judge anybody's parenting, but have your kids focus on school.
Right.
Instagram, Facebook,
Oh, yeah.
Snapchat, your kids shouldn't be on that. They should be reading.
Yeah,
They
that's
should be reading
awesome.
above level. They shouldn't be
Right.
reading regular. If they can go on Snapchat and make snaps, then they should be able to read. So that's something that
That's
I
awesome.
personally do. And
That's great.
I'm so like, be smart. You gotta be smart.
Do you ever wonder what would have happened if you hadn't had your daughter?
All the time. I definitely do think about it. Sometimes I think I would have had more. I would have accomplished more, been already graduated by now, and I would have been set by now. I would have, I would have had a house, I would have had things, but then it's like, sometimes I feel like would I have continued being irresponsible and not get anything?
Right.
Because she has been my drive. So if I didn't have her, would I still have had that drive? So
Right.
I don't know if that would have led me to, maybe end up in big trouble and not establish anything. Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't
it's
know.
tough to say.
It's tough to say, 'cause
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
When do you think you would stop IVF?
That is a very good question because it's kind of like, I never thought that I would be this age and still trying. So in my mind, I've thought, okay, this will sound crazy, but I feel like I feel young, I'm in good shape. I don't know. I mean, I feel like at some point, okay, it has to stop. But it's hard to let go of that. So I don't know. In my mind, I think a couple more years. Honestly, also being single, you're like, well, okay, I don't have a husband or a partner or someone else in my life. So, at least with a child, there would be someone there. So there's definitely, I would say, a void.
Okay, so if a teen mom offered you a healthy infant for adoption, would you consider that?
Yeah, at this point, I would because, you want a child and you figure, okay, I would love to have my genetic child, but, you get to a point where you're like, okay, well, maybe that's not going to happen. So what are the alternatives? All these things that you do with your daughter, I would want to do that with my son or daughter.
Okay.
So, yeah, I would do that.
That's really nice of you.
Nice meeting you too. Good luck. Thank you. It's really awesome. So if you want to stay in touch. She is obviously a great mom. My idea has become that can happen regardless of if you're a teen mom.
I'd never really heard anyone say, I'm single and I want to have a child. It's usually the opposite. I had a child, now I'm single. That was interesting to hear.
I think I would have thought that she would just be in some, I don't want to say dead-end job necessarily, but something, to just be making money. But the fact that it has kind of changed who she is, that definitely surprised me.
I learned to be a little bit more compassionate with people that are older trying to conceive kids. I definitely learned a lot, and I thought this was a really, really cool experience.